You got that song ready to go too?
Yeah.
Good. You just making your coffee?
Yeah.
You must have got here a little late, huh?
No.
Huh?
No.
You just was doing stuff?
Yeah.
Do your alright. Do your job, mama. You gotta pray for Octavia. I'm gonna be trying to call her today. Man, you don't have nobody. Husband in a nursing home, double stroke. All the family is gone. But,
Yeah.
let's go. Alright, the news time, 29 minutes past the hour, 29 minutes past the hour right here in your TV Morning News Magazine. Top of the morning. You better say good morning. How you doing? I know you said it earlier, but you know, how you doing today?
Hey, happy Friday. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Top of the morning to you. Q has the local forecast, your weekend forecast. In fact, we'll touch base with the National Weather Service. We got Dr. David Holcomb with a vaccination update for youth and for children. Know Your Rights segment with attorney Walter Gable. Want to welcome him to the Eyes Open family. What to do and not to do when pulled over by police. We'll rehash and retalk with Representative Ted James, the distinguished gentleman out of Baton Rouge and chair of the Legislative Black Caucus, and Senator Cleo Fields out of Baton Rouge on his mandatory kindergarten legislation that's poised for the governor to sign. We got all that and a whole lot more. Your statewide news you can use, and for national news, and of course, congratulations to all those listeners who won those tickets. We're completely done with the tickets for the Keith Sweat concert, but they are available. All you have to do is go to ParagonCasino.com or just Google it. You'll find the website. Of course, Keith Sweat performing live on June the 26th at 8 p.m. And I do want to remind the winners, if you that day you can obtain your tickets. Your name will be on the list. Just go to will call. Show your driver's license. Only the person whose name is the winner and has their driver's license will be able to claim those tickets. And you can claim them between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. They have to be claimed an hour before the show. So the show starts at 8 o'clock. It is the first concert at Paragon Casino since the pandemic has basically shut everything down. All the news you can use, we got your full newscast coming up in just a few minutes. We're downloading that now. 2 gunmen arrested in a Memorial Day shooting that killed 3 people, including an infant girl in Baton Rouge. In Metairie, murder suspect carjacked truck in Baton Rouge to drive to former fiance's home. You know, I'm so tired of doing these types of stories where when you look at the story, it says arguing with his former fiance during a phone call from his mother's house. So here you got a 43-year-old man who's living in his mama's house. He had to carjack a vehicle queue, so he doesn't have a car. And we know he doesn't have a job. So my point is, and I have to say this again and again, and I know like I'm talking on deaf ears, you women, God bless y'all. Be prayerful. Stop settling for the knucklehead, the thug, the convict coming out of jail. And some of them, I'm not saying this for all of them, but some of them come out and they pay their debt to society and get back on track. But a lot of them don't. They fall right back into the same trap. And in this case, this guy got upset because you called up. I don't know, why you would be engaged to a guy who doesn't have a job, a car, a place to put you. Because that is out of order. Start reading the Bible. You look at the first book right there in the book of Genesis. Adam, what did he do? He had a job. And his job was, of course, tending to the garden and naming all the animals. And he had a home to put it. Called the Garden of Eden. So after he had done all of that, at that point, God said, okay, now you're ready for a wife. So for men out there and for women, be aware that the man has to have a place to put you and have a job. Is that simple? That's just 3 things. That's not a whole lot for somebody to ask of. So if you don't have a place to put you, you don't even have any transportation to drive you anywhere, and if he doesn't have a job, that's going to be a very emotional and physically toiled relationship. So make sure that he's in order. And if he got his stuff in order, then at that point, if you love him, marry him. Bottom line, you're going to have some complications. And some of them do make it. Some couples do make it, with the guy getting out of jail. I'm not saying this is always the case, but you got a guy never even been to jail, still living in his mom's house. Problematic. As a man, you're supposed to do what a man is supposed to do. Get out there and get the things you need to develop that relationship. Lake Charles man indicted on a rape charge tell you about that. Video shows suspected Baton Rouge police officer trading punches. So we gotta find this video. Here, let me show you this. We're out there, let's find this video, because it's out there. The Ritter couple accused of using over $6,000 from Youth Sports League to fund their personal use, home improvements, all kind of stuff. You gotta be able to trust the people that you insure with the money for his children. An elderly man got swindled by sweepstakes scammers. We'll tell you. In fact, my sister-in-law called, and I heard my wife talking to her, and somebody was on the phone. She was trying to get her to go purchase a vanilla card, to put money on her card. So you already shaking your head. So you ever got called up like that? So what do you?
Anytime they tell you to like
Pay some money?
purchase gift cards or something like that, it's a scam.
Absolutely. So
Nobody's gonna tell you to pay a bill with.
to collect the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you won something, but before you win something, you have to go get a vanilla card, put this
Right.
amount of money on it.
No.
And then you give them the access to the card, and guess what they do? And they don't count on making big money. They might say this $100, but if they're sitting up there and they do that to 20 people a day, that's $2,000
It's crazy.
a day.
It's
You know,
crazy.
and at the end of a week, that's
I got
you
it.
know, do the math. That's $10,000 a week. That's $40,000 a month. So they're not counting on big money. They're
Yeah.
counting on scamming little increments that you know, pay $100 to win $2,500. Oh man, that's a win-win. So she called my wife, her sister. I was with her smaller sister, and I said, and immediately Bianca Brown, you know her. No, Tanya. No, Tanya. Come on, Tanya. Think about it, girl. So don't get scammed. And the older we get, the more vulnerable we get, because we start, especially if we're hurting for money. And you know, everybody's always hurting for money. Everybody. Louisiana could become the latest state to end $300 federal unemployment. They stuck it in the last deal, Q. This money was supposed to be extended to September. That's when it was going to run out. That's my understanding. But at the very last minute, they got that vote in, and it looks like it's going to be cut off next month. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So they increase, in order to do this, they're going to increase the state amount by $28 a week. What's that? $120 a month? So you get $120 a month, not the $1,200 a month. So it went from you taking your $1,200 a month to giving you $120 a month. Because guess what? They want you to continue to work for slave wages. They want you to continue to work for non-livable wage. And the bottom line is, this for the first year in many people's lives, that's the most money that they've ever made on unemployment. So many people will sign up for an interview queue, 400 or 500, and you know maybe 2 or 3 will show up. But they're fulfilling their obligation to the Workforce Commission by at least applying for a job. You can hit it off. Lawmakers approved the biggest transportation hike in 37 years, a major milestone. Alexandria Mayor said at a news conference Thursday morning that the city council needs to put in city employees and residents first. Boy, they crafted that message good. Well, I think you need to do that because you're the one that sued them. And of course, when you got the police commissioner making $120,000 a year doing absolutely nothing, that's 3 officers. And when you have a standing ovation coming from the police department after they basically nullified your budget, that shows that you have a problem in your administration. Mental health resources highlighted in the roadshow hosted by Baton Rouge Crisis Center. All that and a whole lot more coming up. 37 minutes past the hour. We're taking our time with it on this Thank God It's Friday. You got a birthday, you got an anniversary, you got something to say, you can call us. We're live at 318-483-9977. 318-483-9977. To all those vibrant things out there. Good morning.
So no, there's a couple of different ways that they do that scam.
Yeah, they scam.
It's
Like
some
what?
people that say that they work for Apple and they scam Apple customers and tell them to purchase like gift cards and stuff.
Oh, really? Wow.
Get all in their computer, screen sharing and stuff, because that's what we do
Okay.
to help them with their product.
So they try to pretend they y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. So y'all have meetings about that and have conversations at the job about that?
No, and we just get calls from customers who say that, you know,
Y'all did
I bought X amount of dollars in gift
So
cards.
we would never do
something
that,
you
man.
do.
Sir.
And if they've already given it to them and it's, you know, spent, then it ain't nothing we can do.
Then they find the real people and the real people say, we
Yeah.
would never do anything like
But
that.
what they do is they mask their personal number and use our actual phone line number. Like it shows up like it's us.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
So they high tech.
yeah, yeah.
Dang. Shh. Anytime somebody asks you for money over the phone, it's a scam.
Right. They call you talking about you owe something.
Yeah. Or like the people trying to call me.
Call you pay.
At the end of the day, I people all in the background speaking all kind of foreign language, and they talk about they with the Social Security Administration. And like the Social Security office got a damn call center. And I asked him for his badge on, give me your supervisor. Because I knew it was a scam. He put some guy on the phone and the guy gave me some fake ass number. What's your employee, your federal, what's your federal employee ID number? And he gave me a number. Finally, got so tired of me asking questions, they hung up on me. I just love it when that happens. I love it when they hang up. I love it when the scammer hangs up on me.
Look, and then after they've gotten scammed, they want to call me up. What's your employee ID? I'm not giving you that. My name is Sean.
Thank you very much.
Shoot, I'm not giving you my
I'm
ID
sorry, I'm very
number.
afraid.
Because you didn't been exposed to that mess.
You need to do your due diligence. And then they go after. There's a reason why they don't go after people older. But I'm offended if they target people 55 and older.
Yeah.
I ain't that damn stupid.
Yeah.
Tanya was about to fall for it. She ain't got a pocket piss in on one little throw out of it, and she about to go get a vanilla card and put a couple $100 on it because she thinks she's gonna get $2,500.
Now I think I kind of thought I was gonna get that at one point, like some years ago. I didn't do it, but I had to think about it for a while because I really felt like maybe I could get it. Yeah, you know.
But the equation in that, in my opinion, for many of them is if you really hurt for money, really hurt, there could be a time with, man, that's a pie.
You're hurting for money, but you got 100 to get them. Like, how does
Yeah,
that work?
I ain't got no damn money, but people going to borrow, and people start put check in the cash plate, you know, get that little $200 and you send them away. And then they would even have the audacity, and they've done this, send you a check in the mail.
Oh yeah, I get those. I get those normal.
What? And it's like, it's a real check, it's such and so
And then they tell you to go buy gift cards with the check.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
One time one was looked so good, I went to it to my bank.
They talking about you keep this much and then go get me this and this and this.
I took it back to my bank. Now I know this is a scam, but I'm just verifying it with y'all that it's a scam. This is we got a lot of those this week. Cool. Already we ain't got one. I mean, target people. But I see my grandmother get taken. People that drive around in the trucks, I got asphalt, I finished the driveway. One guy, also put up a Christmas lights for $100 and she paying the cleaners out. Because he's strong on it. Yeah, elderly lady living by yourself. And this guy getting on your face. You owe me $300. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, she's so bad that broke my heart. I mean, you know, when you living there, that broke my heart. Mama, you can't do that. Come on, your son. Somebody comes to your door, ask him to do some work, say, no, I'm sorry. And she knows she needed to get it done. She want a house to look nice and pretty, but hey, you got sons. Your sons might have grandkids. Or call your grandchildren and let them, you know, facilitate that. And then some people, you know, you find out about it because they're embarrassed.
Sometimes it's before
Some of them got good, you know, where they have the money to spend and they're elderly and just afraid, so they, you know, go buy whatever it is and spend thousands of dollars.
Worse than that. What about all those Ponzi schemes, girl? These white people that have money lose everything. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. $250,000, their entire retirement. Because of this guy from Jim in his office.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Now you know I did that before on Facebook. There was they were like, you spend this much money, you'll get back this much, and it's like a whole cycle thing that it keeps going.
Mm-hmm. And then
I paid into it and that's just when they caught the people and they went down. But I got all my money back. Because they were, it was like
pyramid scheme.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they were. Now, by the time you get to the top of the pyramid, it's already busted.
It's like it was like a money cycling type of thing though, just everybody
Not
put
like
in
that
money.
But I had preppers that actually collected their $15,000.
Yeah, some people collect
I
it.
put my $250 in, I'm moving up, and next thing you know, it just fell apart.
And I got a letter in my email that was like, it was going to court and this and that, and it was found guilty.
I mean, you got your money back though.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to let it. So you don't get your money back. His aunt was like really close to him. Last week. Okay, the dude that I got the files from you, I sent the files. He said, the file cannot be downloaded from Google. What did he say? The file cannot be downloaded from Google. Please try to forward the file to me via.
We should go ahead and do the Dropbox thing, the business account Dropbox, so that everything can go through
Like
there and
when
it'll
we
be
get our computer stuff.
accessible for
How much is that?
everyone. Let's see, Dropbox business.
That's crazy. I can see it. I mean, I can see what he's telling me in the when I go into the email, I can see what he's saying. But if I get out of the email, you can see it in the line. And it says send this account over.
Like how?
You know what I'm saying?
How did he say to send it though?
Well, I can't even see it because instead of please forward. Because when I hit the email, I don't see his words. These files cannot be found from Google. Please try to forward the files to me.
Alright, so the business thing, it has, it's $12.50 a month.
What you get? What kind of games? Speaking of that.
You get like 5 terabytes.
Okay. How do you pay monthly or can't pay monthly?
You can pay yearly or monthly.
Well, we don't. Kenny suggested that we get it. In fact, he said when you look at my phone on this thing, let me know how I can start, how I can remove everything from the card. But I want to make sure because you said everything should be up to date. Let's look at my account. Let me look at what pictures you got in my Dropbox, my personal Dropbox. And then I need to know how do I take out all the damn pictures, particularly maybe not in my phone, but in my card. And that way fill my card to the ones that are in my phone on the card. That way I can have the space in my phone. Because it ain't letting me download doodles. I think we're gonna do that. Let me talk to Mark. And I'll probably pay for it. No, I didn't mean to call her. Just set my double phone. God bless her. You set it down. Check crazy damn phone. No, but I want to make sure. I want to take a look at my Dropbox. Make sure I got it. Dr. David. Well, that's it. She didn't know he was a white man. Is it a white man? You see, they consider that a fight cop. That's a white man, right? And that's a brother that's some bad. Yeah, because, yeah, that's a white dude. Yeah, see, if you've been a brother, shit. Pop out. But you're lucky that's a black man. Black man know we can't shoot no white man. You know we can't do that. If and he had I'm in danger of my life. White people, they feel they can fight cops because they ain't gonna get killed. Black people, you can't even look at them crazy. So what I need to see how it comes up, and they let me download apps. It's better than put pictures. So what I want to do is find out. I want to keep everything in the phone, but how do I clean the card up? The sync. Isn't that card in my phone? The SD card? And that's full. And the phone is full. So what I want to do is be able to, I don't know, what would be best for me to keep? And how do I take pictures and access the card? I didn't know how to do that, but no matter what, we can go get it on the phone. But I like to start deleting some of these out so I have some space. So I want to find my account and I want to look at what pictures they have in there. The last picture that they have in there, so that they can go ahead. You can get tased or nothing. You just kind of got his ass whipped a little bit. Dangerous job. Dangerous job. That's what sounds like. Cops looked at it. Now that's helping me with this again. Biting my bottom lip for the last 2 days. It's crazy. Why am I doing that? What time we got left for this, Q?
20 seconds.
Same thing in the best weekend. Grand Primary Healthcare Center is your federally qualified community healthcare center and is located at 1217 Willow Glen River Road in Alexandria. They are now accepting new patients. Are you tired of spending long hours in hospital emergency rooms? waiting to receive non-critical healthcare services? Do you need affordable medical, dental, and mental health care? Do you need quality health care for you and your baby, for prenatal, during pregnancy, and up until adulthood? Do you need to sign your family up for the Affordable Care Act or Medicaid? Then look no further than Rapides Primary Healthcare Center. It is the affordable, timely answer to all your family's healthcare needs. All services are available to anyone regardless of their ability to pay. You or your family will never be turned away. Rapides Primary is certified KidMed site with a sliding fee scale. Payment is based on income and size of family. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance are accepted for medical services. For appointments and information on all medical services, including Obamacare and Medicaid, call 318-487-4400. That's 318-487-4400. Rapides Primary Healthcare Center, a new beginning in quality healthcare and a proud impact partner of the Line Radio Network.
Hey y'all,
$1
Steve's
so
here,
you
and
see
you're
one of
ready
these.
to get out and
One that
celebrate.
actually
Here's what's
works,
happening
this
around the
thing's
state.
gone.
June 3rd through 5th,
Yeah.
clubs and bands
I
at
like
Chicopee.
my
June 4th through 6th, Fall Mall, Jim Gaines, and Sicilian Heritage Festival in Independence. June 5th, the Peach Festival in Ruston, and Cajun Country Jam in Gonzales. So make your plans to laissez le bon temps rouler.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nutcase. Plan your road trip at LouisianaIsATrip.com.
Hello, Zinla. I'm Dr. Kelvin Stewart, Chief Medical Officer of Alexandria Emergency Hospital, located at 5900 Powellfield Boulevard, West Virginia. Our mission at Alexandria Emergency Hospital is to provide our patients, both adults and children, with the best possible healthcare service, with short wait times and a relaxing environment. Alexandria Emergency Hospital is open 24/7, 365. We have board certified doctors available for expert pediatric and adult care, both inpatient and U.S. services. We can provide outpatient services like MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, and CT scans. We have a clinical lab and on-site pharmacy to facilitate inpatient stays through our state-of-the-art hospital. For more information about our services, you can give us a call at 318-386-8110. That's 318-386-8110. Or visit us online at www.alexandrianews.com. Again, I'm Dr. Kelvin Spears.
You gotta call really quick space.
Come see us at Alexandria Emergency Hospital. Your hometown, ER, and hospital.
That's what's his name? Minions, huh?
No,
That's the Minions song.
no, that's
What's that? That ain't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Come tell me what I know. Kate even knew that. Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
All right, we're back right here on your Premier Morning News Magazine. Let's go to meteorologist Joe Rua. He's with the National Weather Service out of Lake Charles. Hey Joe, how you doing today? Let's talk about the forecast today. Driving in, it looks like it's a little overcast, but it's pretty much the sun is out. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Am I right about that?
Yeah, with the high pressure overhead, keeping all the rain away and everything like that. So it'll be sunny, a little bit on the hot side, of course, in summertime. But at least no rain today or tomorrow.
Fantastic. And as we take a look at the Sunday and the extended forecast, how we shape it up?
Well, I think the title probably starts to break down on Sunday, so we'll start getting that with some usual scattered shot thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, and that will continue to early by next week. But we have typical summertime weather, highs in the 90s with a 34% chance of showering thunderstorms each day.
So okay, well at least we might get a little cool off, a little respite at the beginning of next week then, right?
Yeah, especially being that when the shower comes over, you get to cool off a little bit. So, yeah, it's cool. Typical wet summertime. So you get one of the showers over and cool you off a little bit.
Yep, the dog days of summer in Louisiana, huh?
Yeah, that's where we're here.
All right, my friend, you have a great one. Have a good weekend, Joe, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, that's Joe Rua, meteorologist with the National Weather Service up in Lake Charles, with not only your forecast for today, but your weekend forecast. I'm looking at the time, Q. Let's do that top of the hour ID. And then, do you need to go to another break? Can we keep it here? Can we keep it here? Okay, what do you talk to our ID? Go to another break, and we'll have more when we come back, folks. Phone lines always open at 318-483-9977. 318-483-9977. We got Dr. David Holton coming up with our vaccination update, talking about youth and children. Good morning. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty warm this morning. My windows was like
Fogged up?
until I came across the bridge.
Really? That's because of the humidity? They were fogged up when you got in your car? Or they
It was
just...
already fogged up.
Okay.
And I kept trying to, do the windshield wipers, keep the air on.
Put the,
and
yeah,
nothing was
defroster.
working.
Sometimes you gotta just put a crack in your window. Let the air from outside, because the problem is the different air on the inside and the outside.
Oh.
So sometimes put a little crack in your window and let that other air come in and equalize it. But sometimes that helps. Can you remember my password on this computer over here? I ain't using it so long.
Should be the regular password, otherwise.
Well, let me see if it'll open up without a password. Password, no, it's not. Password, hint, eyes open, no spaces. Okay. You put a hint in there, thank goodness.
Oh, good.
Maybe that was it. And it did. It's just eyes open, no spaces. I'll try to keep my password simple, but that's dangerous too, because once they get you,
Yeah.
why do I have Firefox in this other one?
Those techie people, yeah. Somebody had my eBay account.
I got two before.
And then eBay gonna tell me they didn't see nothing that looked suspect to them. I went to my bank, like, look, fix this. And the lady at the bank, she said that one of the head ladies in Nagano, she was like, Angela, hey. Like she knew me or something. I'm like, I don't know her. You don't say anything back?
This is somebody that tried to get in your
No, Bank of Montgomery. When
Okay.
I went to stop those charges,
Yeah.
the head lady at the Natchitoches branch
Uh-huh.
was saying hey to me.
Like she knew you.
Yeah.
Could be. Now we stream, we originating our stream from the main Tony Brown page, right? Okay. Now I'm on Tony Brown 2 here. So what do I need to do on here to go to Tony Brown? Just go hit those 3 dots up there. Yeah, it has Tony Brown Facebook.
Go to the little upside down triangle.
Upside down triangle. Where's that, Q?
Upper right corner.
Upper right corner. I see a book, a star with some lines. I don't have an upside down triangle. Well, okay, is that it? No.
You have the messenger, the mail, and then it's triangle.
But I wanna go to 20 Brown. I know you got it on the line that I say. Let's bring it down a little bit, because you know when we go up like that, we still over-modulate. Yeah, bring it down, even lower than that. That's perfect right there. Because I'll be listening in my car and it sounds just a little over-modulated. I don't know why I haven't got that much juice. That's perfect. Don't. Oh, you could have kept that on. But let's go straight to the song, Q. Go straight to the song. I just did. Open my mic real quick. All right, Liberty News time, 5 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock, top of the morning to you. We got your forecast coming up at the bottom of the hour. We got Dr. David Holcomb coming up right after this next break with the very latest on the vaccination. And it's Friday, old school Friday. You got a birthday, you got an anniversary, you got a request. 318-483-9977. Good morning. Slurricane. Huh? That was on Tony Brown number 2. Oh, that's no. How did you get? How did you get?
That's not.
I don't have Firefox on this.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't have Firefox on this. Do I have to download it or something to get it?
Yeah, it's an app, so you would have to download it.
Oh, the one next week I want you to download it. Girl name is DeCubanice Jackson. Lord have mercy, DeCubanice. Really, it's spelled DeQubanice.
Oh.
That's a name right there. It is a different setup. It don't even look like the same Facebook. Yeah, that's like, that looks funny to me. Eddie Jones. We still got a Soul Food Academy page. It's crazy. I hear something in the background, Q. I hear the weather guy. He went to.
Oh, I just downloaded it.
Yeah, that's what I hear. this. I don't even like that. No wonder they're getting rid of this thing next year. It sucks. I know, but that's the only thing. That's how old this computer is. So what do I go to download it? I just go to the search engine and put in what? Firefox? Firefox download. Firefox. I don't even know what kind of Windows we got on here. Probably Windows 1. This computer's so old. That sucker still work though. This is Microsoft. They're still trying to send me to Microsoft Edge. Firefox. How to download Mozilla Firefox Windows 10. Install Mozilla Firefox. What's that, Q? Oh, you got my Dropbox open over there? Okay. Take a look at it. See what they got in there. Is there a one-stop way where I can everything on my card I can just zap it, take everything off the card, or would that be too risky?
Yes, well, you can take everything off the card and take the card out.
Oh really? And reformat it, huh?
No. Put it in this thing and then you can connect it to one of the computers to clear it.
Okay. Put my phone over there, keep your hand in. I'm gonna pull the card out. But I want to make sure that everything. Hey Doc, good morning. I'm doing fine, my friend. How are you?
I'm fine. Did you ever track down people's
I've sent out emails to those emails and called both of the numbers that I had. I don't know how to call Great Britain. I hadn't figured that out, and I don't have a Skype situation, so I didn't try to reach out to them on Skype. But I haven't heard anything back, so I'm hopeful.
Well, I expect all the trip thing and actually send us
Yeah, I got it. I mean, you CC'd me, and I appreciate that, Doc. So we'll kind of see what happens. And you told me last time you emailed, it took me a little while to get back with you.
Yeah, somewhere in the dark. So I think we will see.
Okay. Okay. Stand by. We ready, Q? Stand by, Doc. All right, we're back right here in your Premier Morning News Magazine. And of course, time for our update with the Office of Public Health. Our medical director for Region 6 is Dr. David Holcomb. He joins us now. Hey, Doc, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Well, I can't complain. Let's talk about the week. I know you guys have scaled back the vaccinations because, you know, the demand certainly outpacing the supply, and that seems to be the flavor of the day here in Louisiana. I was talking to a friend of mine who was on a call with the White House just a couple of days ago, and it seemed those White House officials were very concerned about the low vaccination numbers in Louisiana. And as are you. So what is our percentage now? I think you and I talked maybe early this week or last week, and it was somewhere around the range of 27%. Is that still kind of holding true?
Right. Well, that's our regional, and statewide it's a little closer to 30, a bit over 30 actually. But it's still far, most of the data averages around that 60, and the goal was 70. So
we're way behind. We're way behind the curve. So when you what you're telling me basically is that only 1 out of every 3 adults in Louisiana are vaccinated.
Well, it's a little bit better than that because they take the whole population, so there's minors in there too. So it's a bit better than that, and when you get up to older people, it's significantly better than that. It's 60%. So it just drops off terribly when you get below about 60. Because people just are not, many people are not accepting it.
Wow. So, well, we've seen those numbers go up in other states that have the vaccination lottery. I mean, Louisiana, we relegated ourselves to giving out free cold drinks at restaurants and a free Crown and Coke at a bar. If that particular establishment is participating in that's just not going to do the trick. And I don't understand why we're not, at least giving people an opportunity to win some cash, man.
Well, I think the ideas around there, I think the hang-up actually comes about where the money comes from, because I don't know how some other states have worked around this, because, a vaccine is not a difficult thing to organize, and it has been on the table. I think it's just a question of, where can the money come from, where can we do.
If they can do it with federal dollars, we should be able to just make a phone call. Say, hey, how'd y'all get it done? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's actually happening. I think at upper levels they're reaching out to other states and like how we organize this. So I suspect it's going to come. We're just going to be a little behind. But this whole under-vaccination phenomena is all across the South.
Yeah. Oh, but let me be the 800-pound elephant in the room. All of this is politically connected in the South, where overwhelmingly red states exist. People who have aligned themselves with Donald Trump, who is no longer president, and they feel this is their way to support Donald Trump. They really do, and that, even though Donald Trump and his family has gotten the vaccination, they are just hell-bent refusing of the government requiring or demanding that they do something. This is their liberty, so to speak, and I'm not going to get it. My mama didn't get it. The kids are not going to get it. And I'll be damned even if the school starts and they try to mandate that my kid get the vaccination. I mean, they'll have to get those other shots because it's required, certainly to go to public school. But we know in the South, for people who are in the middle of the road or what they call middle income, that most of them who are Caucasian send their kids to parochial schools or private schools. So the majority of the people that we're talking about, basically, Doctor, is people who look like you.
Well, that's true to a certain extent. And there's another big bucket, though, which is black women, younger black women.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So these states, studied this and sent out surveys and different things. And so there are actually several buckets. The biggest bucket is the one that actually talks about. There's people that tend to be conservative, often poorly educated, middle or lower income, and white. And that's a big bucket.
Yeah.
Then we have another bucket, which is younger black females.
Millennials.
And there are worries about fertility, and then there's a difference to preventive health. There's a lot of issues there. None of the resistance is really valid.
Yeah.
Wherever it comes from.
And
not valid.
And what's ironic in what you're saying, younger black women, particularly here in central Louisiana and the Alexandria area, are the same demographic that have over a 50% syphilis rate when it comes to certainly those who are childbirthing age or may even be pregnant, passing that sexually transmitted disease onto the children. Is there any connection in that, or is this just a lack of education issue?
Well, the syphilis deal is kind of more complicated, but that is probably, that has about a 55-45 spread, and a 55 is white, not black.
Oh, okay.
And then it's now crept up to half of people are women, and it used to be a big chunk of men who have sex with men, and so that's all dropped down to 30%. So that is another whole kind of different deal, because that's a whole kind of subculture. 50% of the people that become infected have been involved with drugs in some way, usually methamphetamine.
Yeah.
So that is like a subculture problem, and I'm afraid it's not unique to Central Louisiana, but we just have a curiously big problem. In fact, I talked to the medical staff at Rapides yesterday about this problem, and several doctors said, "Oh yeah, I diagnosed this person or this person or this person," and I'm like, "Okay."
Oh wow. But how do we fix it? I guess that's just the question that nobody can seem to really answer.
Well, I did take the initiative of alerting the mayor's office, and because there's a law enforcement component to this, because not so much because of the sexual activity, but because of the drug use.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're aware, and they're taking some initiatives to try and tamp this down. It's very easy to access drugs here and elsewhere through various social media.
Yeah.
It's very astonishing, but the folks I have who work on this are assured me that you without too much trouble, you can figure out what you want and who you want to have sex with by going on various social media sites.
That's crazy. I mean, that is crazy, but it is what it is, and basically what we're talking about when they even do that, if you talk about swapping sex for drugs, that's a component of prostitution.
Yeah, I don't know how all this is actually coming down, when the rubber hits the road there, but there are certain people that are looking into this aggressively.
Yeah.
But, I talked to the doctor yesterday, and I said, look, Dr. Chan, the state health officer, says that one of the few trusted people in people's lives, if they have a primary care physician, is that physician.
That's right.
And so most physicians, probably 90% of physicians are on board with this. There is a fringe that does not, like profession. But those people have a very, very important thing to say, as do peers. So we need students in schools who got vaccinated are going to talk to their peers and say, I got vaccinated, it's going to make our lives easier for sports and going back to school. Let's all get on board.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of medical problems to solve, and those are directly impacting the community, certainly disproportionately poor people and people of color. So let's talk real quick about the vaccination. There's a lot of buzz about kids 12 and under getting the vaccine. How do we do this week? I mean, are the numbers just still so dismal that some of our medical folk feel like, we kind of beating a dead horse, wasting our time here, because, although we're offering it, and you've heard me say before, you can't make the horse drink.
Well, we did cut down the hours, and we still are doing this on Wednesday at the Coliseum. But we had 100 people come by. Many of those were second doses. And then we did have, a smattering of 17 and less. So some parents are getting on board, and they're bringing their kids in to get vaccinated. Now, people can get vaccinated any day at any health unit. Now, we do still have, like special drive-through days at health units all throughout Central Louisiana. And that's the information I send the sheet to you with all these names and stuff. But, contacting your local health unit out there in Wynn Parish, in Cataroo, and Concordia, these are sometimes very destitute areas. But the vaccine is available.
Yeah.
And we are willing to we are seeing an uptick in younger people. It is nowhere near what it used to be.
Absolutely, and I see we got so much millions of doses of vaccine, just sitting on the shelf, and the question is it going to go bad? Do we send it to those third world countries that so desperately need it? Don't even have basically what we have. But we definitely don't want it to go to waste. It's like if you have something and you want it a few times and you've outgrown it, you certainly want to be able to give it to somebody, maybe in your family, or even not in your family, dropping off the Salvation Army or United Way, or new to you, wherever the case may be, so someone can utilize it. I mean, is that the same approach we need to take with the doses the millions of doses that are sitting on the shelf that Americans are just reluctant to take?
Yes, this is all owned by the federal government. The whole stock of vaccines are owned by the federal government. That's why there should be no charge associated with ever getting a shot.
That's right.
And that is where that 500 million doses that Biden just announced going to 100 countries, these are, it's not bad. It's short dated.
Yeah.
So it has to be used at a certain time. The demand in those countries is so great that if their organizational structure is adequate, they will have no problem liquidating those doses.
Yeah, because Doc, when we buy milk, it says best used by this day, but we know we can go 2 or 3 days after that day.
Well, we're not sending bad vaccine, but every health department and every provider was requested to look at their stock and see which ones were running out by the 23rd of June, and then there's some that are in a lot runs out in July, and any of that, what they call short dated, was to be returned to the state. And so we ship those from all of our health units and from all providers who were not going to be able to get rid of it, and that's all gone somewhere, and I believe it's all in that 500 million doses.
Okay, my final question is, for those who have answered the Macedonian call, have gotten the shot, we've gotten our second shot, and we're months away. We're actually, 2, 3, maybe some of us 4 or 5 months have had the shot. At what point, I'm not going to worry about those fools who don't want to take the shot for whatever reason, but I want to know, at what point do I need to go take a booster shot or get another shot? How long is this juice that's in my body right now going to last?
Well, the bottom line is that nobody actually knows, because this is a new vaccine and all that. But as people go out and they look at, how many people have got reinfected once, and there are a few a few people who will get reinfected. They'll see when those numbers actually start to increase. But the speculation, I can't tell you for sure because we have gotten no definitive answer, there will probably be a booster in the fall or winter.
Okay, so be waiting for it, and then we're all the way back to square one. We're trying to get people who got the shot, at the same time trying to get the people who've never gotten the shot to get the shot, or the people who got 1 dose and for whatever reason haven't gotten a second dose.
Yeah, and now that the rate, the positivity rate has fallen pretty substantially, next fall we're going to run into another flu season. The COVID wiped out the flu.
Wow. It sure did. It did, didn't it?
Very little.
Yeah.
So that will become another thing just did. However, they now said that they take a shot concomitantly at the same time. Originally they said no, you had to wait 2 weeks, and it was kind of complicated. Now they come out and say no, even especially kids, you can get their other shots at the same time.
What was that big word you used, Doc, for meeting at the same time? What was that big word?
Concomitant.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it, my friend. You have a great weekend, and of course, let's just hope people, start doing what we need to do, because, with that amount of people, particularly here in the South in Louisiana, only 1 of 3 will never reach any sort of herd immunity, and of course, that'll thus make all of us still quite vulnerable to this thing and these new variants, particularly that one that's coming out of India.
It's here in Louisiana. It's still a very low percentage, but it will become a higher percentage of time.
Absolutely, Doc. Have a good weekend. You stay safe.
Okay, you too.
All right.
Take a lot.
No worries. And of course, y'all know we've been on it for a long time trying to get people to do what they want to do, but they're gonna do what they wanna do. More action when I come back, folks. Don't go away. I see Walter out there. Let me go get him. Oh, you said you got a Dropbox on the computer over there, kid? Okay. That's him, cute answer for my
Tony Brown, this is your statewide news. News on this, thank God it's Friday, it's the 11th day. June news being brought to you by the Alexandria Emergency Room Hospital. The two alleged gunmen in a Memorial Day shooting that killed 3 people, including a toddler, were arrested Thursday morning from the Baton Rouge area after police spent several days searching for them. 19-year-old David Williams of St. Francis was put to the East Valley Care Prison, and a 15-year-old is booked as a juvenile detention on 3 counts each of first-degree murder and illegal use of a weapon. They are accused of killing 16-year-old Delano Gold Jr., 20-year-old Richard Chance,
huge film and nice week pants. That's my high school friend. You remember Miss Q? You remember Miss Walton? Have a seat, we'll put you right here. Get you all set up. Great. Good stuff right there.
Hey, look.
That's perfect, man. Perfect.
Think of something interesting.
Absolutely. I'll go in there because I know you're ready. You know, since we saw him here last week, he's been all on the legal channel. What's the name of that network?
Court TV network.
Court TV. This man been on Court TV.
Yeah.
How many times been on? 2, 3?
No, I've been on there.
So you're a regular.
About once a week.
What?
Twice last week.
What?
Once or twice this week.
That's why he all cleaned up and sharp. So they really using you a lot.
Yeah, they use
That
me.
means they like you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now you're doing it pro bono. At what point you gonna start giving you a check?
You know, and that's the funny
That's what
thing.
you're working on.
That's, you know what, at this point, that's what I'm working.
Well, let me ask, did you have an agent?
No.
You
Yeah,
need an agent.
agent.
Damn right you
And
did.
I, you know, NABJ is coming up this August.
Where at?
It's virtual.
Oh,
It's
is it?
not in the city this year.
Because I attended the conference in St. Louis about 3 years ago when we were actually promoting the Sugartown documentary about New Iberia and they shared. So, you know, that was really the first time I had gone. But I was quite impressed with, you know, all the black journalists and, you know, and now all these little young people doing their podcasts.
Well, nowadays.
Everybody in the mall got a podcast. So
That's true.
we were jumping from interview to interview, and it really surprised me that a lot of the young cats do their homework. But, you know, I sat down on a couple of them, they knew everything about me. Yeah, I mean, you know, you knew about Gina, you know, one guy out of Atlanta, you know, he said, Mr. Brown, man, I've always wanted to meet you. We're working with Gina, and I'm like, man, you know, because you never know, but when people got access to you, they got access to you.
Yeah.
So you could, so next time you're on Court TV, I gotta check you out.
Yeah.
Look cute, look at him. He ain't got no socks on, got his Gucci shoes on. Like, he's uptown with that. For what's that? I tell you about a year or two, we're not gonna be able to get him on the show. I'm telling you, I try to squeeze you in, man, but you know, I'm now, you know, on Court TV. But that's the lick though, right there, man. If you can utilize your law degree, because I thought about that when I went to law school, when I was thinking about going to law school, because Court TV's been around a minute. But they look for lawyers and they pay well.
Yeah, you know, and so.
Maybe I can reach out to Joey Jackson. He and our frat brother, but you know, he was a CNN legal panel and found out who his agent is.
Yeah.
Maybe get you in contact, because bottom line is if you get in that kind of time, at some point they're going to sit down with you and try to offer you a contract. Yeah, you say if you on once or twice a week, and you're talking about all kind of cases.
It's getting to the point where they said, all right, we want you on here. You know, it was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pick a time.
Wow.
And it was like,
Giving you your time.
they were just picking
That's
something.
awesome.
You know?
Well,
So-
I got some great stuff in here for you, man. Matter of fact, we should have Joey answers. I hadn't seen Joey on CNN in a minute. You know, have you seen him lately?
They use him a lot on HLN. And you
Oh,
know that.
he's on HLN, yeah.
You know that doctor in New Orleans, what's his name? Is it Corey Hebert? He light skin, he's on TV a lot. I think the Black News channel might have.
Well, like BET?
He may be on BET. he's a doctor and he's on TV and giving medical advice and different things. I met him because I went to NABJ last year, and he told me that Joey likes HLF.
Okay. Okay.
He said he just likes the free format.
And the Joe is as sharp as a tack.
He's talking.
I think we see the answer this song. Because I may be able to connect y'all. Because, he worked for Fox as a legal analyst for free. All they would do is pick him up in the limo for years. Really? Before CNN. Really? Yeah, so he did it for years before he started getting money. See, I don't watch HLN, so he probably has to. I look at CNN. I need to start watching HLN. I'll get a message telling me get contact with this. That's good though, man. That's good. You start getting that, that's international. That's gonna make you practice more too.
Yeah.
Joey, how you doing, my brother? Just checking up on you, man. I know you've been busy. Hey, when you get a minute this weekend, give me a call. I got a fraternity brother of mine that's actually getting his feet wet on national television. He's been doing a lot of court TV, and they're bringing him on, maybe 3 times a week now, because they like him, they like his look, and obviously they like what he's saying. So I wanted to find out if I could find out who your agent is or who you would recommend, because I think some point down the line he's going to need some representation. So give me a call when you can. I hope all is well. Tell the lovely wife I said hello. And of course, hope your son is doing well in school. So give me a call back when you get a chance, my friend. God bless. I look forward to hearing from you.
You're a good brother. No matter what anybody says.
I don't care what they say about me. But they say a lot about me. Joey Brown. I try to do, man. I tell people I'm a. That's the key to life, helping anybody you can. Certainly people, and faith ain't fair. If I can't help you, got faith, and I can't help you, I have faith. So don't be hating on me because I got faith. Many people come after me, mayor's administration, remove my share off the air, and then, here we are now, we got 2 stations. And I got to tell you, man, when you start making that money, with real good money, I got some stuff going on in Africa. People just don't have to blow you and freaking away. Matter of fact, when the cashiers ever show you. You ever had some cashews from Africa?
I have not.
Man, when you compare the cashews that we eating over here,
What time do we want to go on here?
we're going on here afternoons.
Oh, right after this. I got a status here at 8 o'clock Central Time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
She left.
I should have told you that, but
So you're doing it on the computer?
it's just on Zoom.
No, you'll be done. But then, let's do this then. After all that stuff behind news, let's kill that. That way I can have him done. How long is news? These are roasted with no seasoning.
4 minutes left.
This is the type of cashew. Look at the size of them.
Yeah.
Now that's a vote. But when you look at the size of it compared to what you did with all of those, and they're just delicious by themselves, no salt, no additives. You know what goes into picking them. Africans are clearing fields at $60 a whole village. The women, because it's toxic inside the shell. You have to spread the shell open in a different way. But this is the future. So the shells will be big to biofuel. The apple, which the cashew is on the end of, they've been throwing away. Those can be broken down to fuel if not too.
And this is from Tanzania.
Tanzania. Delicious. And they're healthy. It's a superfood. So no cholesterol.
This is just a worldwide thing. I went to the Dominican.
Oh yeah.
They showed us farms where people are clearing plantain by hand, and they just don't have the equipment.
They don't have the equipment, they don't have technology. Matter of fact, Martin showed me, it was funny because we was meeting with one of the guys from the executive team was here. He just came in from Africa. And we met with our friend brother named, who is this, James. He's the executive director for the Democratic Party. Louisiana, but he's a former New Orleans City Councilman. You probably know him. But you
Was
in
it
New
James
Orleans.
Gray? Was it?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's him.
Mhm.
You know James?
No, I just know of him.
Yeah,
I
but
know of him.
for some reason I met was really weird. So I was at the legislature last week, and I was just kind of talking to people, and I guess he noticed me. I didn't have no cap on, nothing. Well, I mean, I had a cap. I had a cap of mask on. It's like when I put a mask on like that. And then his brother, older brother, just came up and just stayed, didn't say anything. And I'm like, and then you know, I was like, hey, how you doing? He shook my hand and dapped me up. I said, oh man, how you doing? Lou, how you doing, Flat? I said, man, I didn't know you were a Catholic. And he said, you should have known just by looking at me. That's what I laughed. I said, he said, you should have known just by looking at me. Can't you see? You were suited down and everything. I said, you were right. I should have known you were a Catholic man, especially with that kind of response. James, wait, and I'm trying to get him on the show because he was on the White House call talking about those low numbers. I was just talking to his doctor about this. Louisiana, man, we only got less than 30% statewide. Have you taken it?
I'm fully vaccinated. 2 shots.
Your wife too?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I didn't know it was that low though.
So it's low. Q ain't taking it yet. Q gonna wait till that money drop. Huh? Q gonna wait till that vaccination lottery drop. So get your name in the hat. I ain't mad at you. Because if I had taken it, I'd be waiting too. Wait on that money, because it's coming. Absolutely.
You
No,
saw
this.
that?
But
Playing a lot in California though?
Q, yeah, man, a lot of money. People went out. So one lady won $400,000. I was like, good Lord. Q, you got a white utensil over there? Pen, you let me see. What was our moniker on the end of your stuff? You got one?
Yeah, I got this.
What was the moniker on the end of your commercial? Remember that again?
People's story.
That's it. The people's story.
You gotta just pull it out.
Put it up.
It's one of those pens I got from a long time.
One of these fancy
Something in
pens.
my law school, yeah.
It's nice too. Yeah. Got something on it? Okay. All right. 70th anniversary of the law school. You guys can remember that. I don't even know why we using this. We just put this on the
I
desk.
know. I'm trying to ink out.
The number we're gonna put where you can be contacted by phone number is what?
It's 318-445-212.
How's the baby?
Oh, he's good.
Walking, really? How old is he?
13 months old.
Okay. Walking, getting some stuff, and let no, you tell we got the grandparents home called Baby Friendly. A little plug to outlets. I remember all that. Q, you remember doing all that stuff? I know Q was overboard with her. I didn't know the kind of mama she was. Q plugging up all the outlets and making them baby friendly. And then you did all that stuff. Q had like flashcards. Baby wasn't even walking yet. Flashcards with definitions and stuff. Remember you had the flashcards on your house? You didn't understand alphabet and numbers. That's good stuff.
We try to read to him, but he eats the babies.
Oh, does it? Well, at least we know you like books. But this is you. And this is your control right here. So you let me know when are you going to switch over here and turn it down.
But it's too loud.
Yeah, it's too loud. You just let me know and I'll bring it down. Bring it down. Let me know.
That's probably.
All right, we're back right here in your Premier Morning News magazine, and every other Friday, starting with this Friday, we'd like to welcome, of course, my fraternity brother, Attorney Walter Gabriel, the People's Lawyer. And of course, he's going to be a very familiar face, folks. He gets a lot of face time on, of course, Court TV. They have him on Court TV 2 to 3 times a week, certainly for the past month or so. So we got him, and we knew him when he wasn't nobody, but just a good attorney. So now he's getting a lot of national face time, and really, this is going to be a face that you're going to see on national television. He is a legal analysis. He gives legal analysis of various cases throughout the world. So I'm quite proud of you. Fist bump on that, dude. We appreciate you coming in, and of course, Let's just kind of talk about that Court TV experience, man. You kind of started this maybe a couple months ago. It started with one interview, and then what happened? What kind of experience was that?
I honestly, Tony, I'm just having a good time on air. It's they live stream court trials, and sometimes it's two at a time. When one's on break, they'll just shoot to another. And in the way I describe it to people, it's like if you watch a basketball game and it's halftime, and then they cut to Charles Barkley and the other analysts on there. Well, when they're on break in court, when they're lunch break or they're having a bench conference, and there's a break in the trial, they cut to the lawyers and they say, hey, what do you think about this argument this lawyer just made? What do you think about this move? Was this the right move or not? And it's just fun for me to give my take on seeing how other lawyers handle different situations. And I just say what I think about trials in the moment.
But when you think about Walter, the sheer amount of attorneys who are out there, to be chosen, by Court TV, and then to be asked back repeatedly, and then actually them letting you know, hey, we got these days available. What time do you want? So they're actually giving you, premier access by just saying, hey, not only do we want you, but you get to pick the time that you want to be on.
It's fun. Yeah.
That's favor right there.
Yeah, it is. It is favor. It's God. I've been doing it for about a month now, and it's to the point where they're just right after. It's like, okay, when do you want to come back? We got these dates, we got these times. Come back when you can.
And I know after you get off the air, which traditionally happens when you're on national television, because I'm no stranger to that, but the phone blows up. People calling you up, your family, like you did so well, and then there's always your wife, who are actually you kind of messed up on that one, but your wife is never gonna blow you up to it so you get the big head, but she's gonna be your worst critic. And is your wife worst critic?
She is.
Okay.
She is.
And she's in the business.
And she's in the business, and it's very valid. And I look to her right after I take the earbuds off. I look at her and go, okay. What this time?
What happened? What I do?
Was I looking in the camera enough? Would I look,
Did I make great eye contact?
Eye contact, those kind of things. And that stuff really helps a lot.
Well, that's good that you got someone in the business that can train you. And of course, I try to give you pointers as well, and you take some stuff on as well. Well, of course, I want to introduce him as our Know Your Rights sponsor, folks. So you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot from Attorney Walter Gable, the People's Lawyer. And this morning, the topic that we're talking about is certainly one that we all know about. If you're a driver, 9 times out of 10, you've been pulled over by a police officer. And this morning, what we're going to talk about is let's talk about accidents. Let's talk about accidents. So if you email, we're going to stick to this script, or we're going to go with the one that you see now. Is it the same thing that we're doing here? So.
We can go either way.
Okay. Well, see, he's that versatile now. Well, let's talk here. Let's see some stuff. Well, let's talk really about this first one. Right after an accident, what do people need to do? Because this is some good stuff. I'm going to stick to this script. Right after an accident, what do people need to do? Because, as a matter of fact, just yesterday, I went back off the drive, and I saw a 3-car accident. Police haven't gotten there yet. And one woman had gotten out of her car. I think she may have been hurt. Like she could get hit. Because, sometimes traffic, when the police are not there to stop the traffic, people either panic a little bit or they really don't know what to do. Certainly if they've never been involved in an accident. So if I've been involved in an accident, what's the first thing that comes to your mind that people need to do?
Well, it's and to that end, what you just said, Tony, the most important thing to do right after is to make sure you're in a safe place. If you can coordinate with the other drivers and say, hey, look, let's go to the shoulder, do that first. Especially if you're in the middle of a highway, or a place where there's traffic that's moving fast, you gotta get over. Do that, then call the police.
So a lot of, because safety is the key, and not to have any further damage. Because a lot of times because I've heard somewhere, maybe it's, don't move the car, stay put where the car is located so the police can look at the accident, take the photos that they need. But nowadays, with the technology that we have, people can really take their own pictures before they reposition the car, because you want traffic to flow safely, but at the same time, you want the police to understand who hit who.
Right, exactly. And yes, taking pictures is important. You should do that at the scene. But your safety is the most important thing after that wreck. If you just pull over to the side, you can tell the officers when they arrive, what happened, and who hit who where, and the officer can see based on where the vehicle damage is for each car, you know, how the collision happened. So it's not that you're ruining your case. If you're rear-ended and you feel like you have to stay put, like that's not the case at all. You know, you get over to a safe place and you call the police to get that police report taken down right after the crash.
What if you are so injured that you can't get out of the vehicle?
You down 911. You immediately down 911 and you don't try to, and you let them know it's an emergency situation, and hopefully the other drivers respond to you and they see that it's an emergency situation as well and assist you with that.
That makes sense. So again, the people's lawyer says move to a safe location, call the police, take photos of the scene if you can, if you're able to do so, and if you're hurt and injured and you can't get out of the car, dial 911 immediately and don't move. Okay, what not to do?
What not to do? Don't get out the car and start a fight with the other car. You know, your first reaction is, oh man, this driver, because they didn't.
It's their fault
or whatever. They're messing me up. I got to get to work. I got to get to my family. I got to, they're costing me all this money. I got to fix my car now. Don't do that. You got to keep it cordial with the other driver. Exchange information if they're willing to do that. Get their insurance card because you're going to make an insurance claim afterwards when you're out of the area. But yeah, keep it cordial because there's no fight, no nothing is going to change what already happened. You got to fix it from there.
What if there's a situation where the accident is caused because of road rage? This person tailgated you, has followed you, has incapacitated your vehicle, and now they're coming at you. I mean, I know I'm throwing a loop on it, but that happens.
Your safety is the most important thing.
So even if you have to drive from the scene to a safe location, you'll be able to do that?
Oh yes. If that happens and this person is going to come out, and I've had clients who dealt with road rage situations. Obviously not on the phone with me because they became a client after the situation, but you just make sure you are safe. If you have to drive away, that's fine. You just get to a safe place away from that driver. If you've got to drive straight to a police station, that's fine. You do what you can to make sure you are safe. You call 911, you document it with that 911 call, because that 911 call is an official record that can be pulled afterwards. Call 911, let them know it's a road rage situation. You need help because the driver is chasing you, or you had to leave the scene for your safety. The theme with all of this is that your safety and your health is first above all.
That makes sense. And nowadays, because of technology, our brother has one, I'm talking about getting one of these dash cameras. Those, as a personal injury lawyer, technically you're a civil rights lawyer as well, are those beneficial, and is it admissible in a legal situation when we have to look at it?
Absolutely. If it shows what happened, if it shows, T-bone, side swipe, whatever. Oh yeah, that camera.
Even when you pull over by police.
Oh, yes, sir.
Certainly you look like that.
Yes, sir.
In the current environment.
That, and as a side note, I know we're on one topic.
Yeah, that's okay.
But if you were pulled over by the police in a traffic stop situation, thankfully nearly everybody has a smartphone. You just put that phone on the cord. You can put it on your dash if you're comfortable. You can put it in your cup holder. Just put it somewhere to record everything that's asked and answered between you and that officer.
So even if you can't get him on video, you can still hear it on video.
Yes. There are certain things that you may be asked at a traffic stop by a police officer, and there are reasons that the officer is asking permission, for example, to search this part of your car. Permission to search.
That's a whole good topic.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna do that
do
next time.
that.
Absolutely, because because a lot of times people are intimidated by police, and then certainly if you're African American, you have that fear, and Lord, is this going to end badly? As we've seen so many cases. So not only document, have your stuff together, then you can see, because a lot of cops, I don't know if they have bad days, but a lot of them are hell bent on just taking black people to jail or even hurting them. We've seen it here in Louisiana. It's to the point where it was already to the point that when we were driving, it's so unfortunate that we're almost conditioned when we see lights flashing behind us and the police get off and clench the steering wheel. Even you do as an attorney, even I as a journalist. It doesn't matter what I'm driving, or who I am in society, or who I think I am. When police pull you over, there is that tension, that stress we feel. Lord, in the event that we'll have this on another show, to make it home.
Yes, yeah.
Make it home to that baby, to your wife, to your family, kids, not being smart enough, because some feel that we don't have the audacity, we have the audacity of having free speech, and I've seen on the opposite side, white people get out cursing cops and stealing their cars and not getting shot, it baffles me.
Not the funny thing, but I've had a conversation with a guy who's active in this community, and he kind of told me, I struggle with what to tell kids, how to respond to police when they feel like their rights are being violated. And the answer is they gotta get back home alive.
Absolutely.
If they think their rights are being violated, that's a battle to fight for another day.
Absolutely.
Not in that conversation right there.
That's a battle for you to fight for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's right. Call the people's lawyer, Walter Gabriel, and of course let him do that. Live to see another day. Correct. Yeah, because you can't have any sort of claim, you can't get any sort of justice when you're laying in the ward and your family's claiming your funeral. That's good stuff. Okay, we talked about what right after an accident, what to do, what not to do. Get confrontational, start a fight with the people, or get pulled into that. And if they're aggressive, get in your car and call 911, keep your car there, lock your door, and talk to the guys outside who's aggressive. I'm not getting out, or just go to a safe location where there's plenty of people. What about the people who think that when they get involved in an accident, certainly if they're the victim of an accident, that I gotta have a lot of money on my walk in.
I really
Look, man, you look expensive, bro. That's all I'm saying. You don't you look expensive? Like you look shoulder, you look expensive. That's all I'm saying, Walter. Are you expensive?
No, I'm not. Not at all. I'm actually free.
Okay, so you heard that? The people's lawyer, he's for free. It's called a contingency, right?
It's a contingency agreement, and this is how it works.
Okay.
You're in a car accident, you're in a slip and fall, you're in a civil rights violation situation. You don't
Excessive force.
Excessive force.
By police.
Yes. You don't pay me $1 out of your pocket. There's no time ever that I'm going, hey Tony, I'm representing you in this car. You
$50,000.
No.
Just to take your case.
You don't owe me out of pocket. So the way this works, if we come to a good settlement or we don't come to a jury verdict, my payment comes from that and only from that. So, there are things we do. We pay to file suit. We pay if we have to go to trial. We pay for experts and all these other things.
All costs money.
And
that's not out of your pocket.
That's all fronted from us.
That's right.
And so you don't pay $1 for anything, no matter what's going on in your case.
What about
only after a settlement?
Okay, what about certainly in a personal injury cases, the people don't have insurance, but they need to go to the doctor, they need physical therapy. Do you guys work that out as well?
We work that out. If you don't have health insurance, we know doctors in areas
that'll work. As long as they don't get there, whether it's on the front end or the back end, I know there's physical therapists that do that. I know there are doctors that do the same. But it's up to you to develop those relationships.
Right. We have relationships with good doctors in the area that we know that care and give good treatment. You got to get back to where you were before this wreck physically, but you also need to get every dollar you're supposed to get from the wreck.
Get what you do.
Because the law says you're entitled to money for your pain and suffering on top of your medical. So, we know doctors in areas that can do that.
And of course, when it comes to the contingency, whether he takes it to court, which I know you don't mind going to court, but you got a lot of these doctors that just want to settle, not even try to take the case and just not get maximize the benefit for the client, but just get something so they can keep moving. And that's problematic for a lot of people as well.
Right. And so there are doctors who, shy away from helping us. When we say, hey, we need a report, we need a narrative that explains, your patient's injuries. We need you to come and testify to help your patient, get what they're supposed to get from this accident. A lot want to be involved with lawyers. So, we kind of come to know who's good and who's not in these kind of cases.
Yeah, and then, when it comes to contingency cases, there's a maximum amount that attorney can give even in settlements toward. We hit that way.
What you know what? It's
set by either the government or the state as far as a maximum amount that you can get on a person.
You know what? Practically it's set in a lot of cases by what's called insurance policy.
Okay.
So you do have some of that malpractice, but the state of Louisiana's put caps on it. that doesn't help the people who are hurt.
It does.
Lifelong injuries. But, you know, practically, you know, I'm glad you brought this up. You know, your case, even if you're very hurt, you know, there are situations where the insurance that's available limits what you can get. So, you know, I advise anybody that's listening to take a look at their own policies and see.
Because the minimum really is not going to
The minimum in Louisiana is only $15.30.
It used to be 10, 20, 10 back in the day, probably when you were in grade school, I remember that.
Right.
And what people have to understand, that's another topic we have to do. Explain your insurance and what, if you are the one that is at fault, that somebody gets hurt or paralyzed in that other car, and you have assets like a house, vehicle, a business with equipment, they can go after all of that when you don't have enough to cover your insurance. So a lot of people don't understand, they just get the minimum, and the minimum is not enough when you have assets.
It's not.
That's a whole other show.
It is another show.
So that's another good topic.
And it is, and I've had talks with people and insurance people about this before. And you know, you want to make sure you're covered. If you're on the other end of this and you toss around.
I gotta wrap this thing up. I'm gonna ask you one more thing. What if the accident was my fault?
If it was if it was, there are times we represented people where both drivers get a ticket because the cop has a problem sorting it out, or you're partially at fault. In Louisiana, that's okay. The law in Louisiana is basically if you're 1% at fault, you're still entitled to 1% of the damage amount that you already might give. So, you know, even if it's 50-50, even if you're only a little bit at fault, still talk to a lawyer, talk to me. There's still some representation you can get. You can get some treatment money out of the case, even if you're partly at fault.
Now, attorney, the People's Lawyer Walter Gabriel is, of course, licensed in both Atlanta, Georgia, and here in the state of Louisiana. He's a graduate of Southern University Law School, so we know him. He's originally from the Baton Rouge, New Orleans area, am I right?
Yep.
Has an office in the New Orleans area as well, and I know he has court right now via Zoom. So, if people want to contact you, what's the number to call?
In Louisiana, my number is 318-445-2121.
And if they can't get to you,
if you can't get to me,
you'll go to them?
Yes, I go to you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So,
but you will get to me.
absolutely. And in return to all his calls, again, folks, get the People's Lawyer, Walter Gabriel. The number to call here in Louisiana is 318-445-2121. That's 318-445-2121. We call it the excellent job. Let's see, we got 2 other topics inside this one topic that we have.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I like what you're talking about, and I like that you help people. Again, folks, the People's Lawyer, Walter Gabriel. The number to call, 318-445-2121. We'll have more eyes open when we come back, folks. Good job.
Appreciate it, Tom.
All right, don't go away. I made you late for your appointment, so you need to get on. You can get on right here.
Hey,
You need to.
you're good. Yeah, I'm gonna set up right here.
Yeah, sit up right here, man. Go right here to the table, plug up. You need a cord, or you got you do stuff?
It's just a man.
No, just sit up right here, man. Right over here. You ain't gotta move.
Oh, I
Do
appreciate
your
it.
thing. No worries. But I'm the one made you late, but I like the fact that you're a talker.
Yeah.
And
You know
you-
what? Core TV helped me.
Yeah,
Just-
man. Yeah, you got
yeah.
to go slow now. Yeah, compared to when I had first, we did it. People
Yeah, it was a little choppy at first.
Yeah, you got it now, bro. I ain't got to tell you nothing. You're a natural.
Well, I guess I was gonna ask you for pointers after that. What you thought?
No, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, then you were able to ask the question that I came up, you know, just on cue, and you know, you spoke with authority. You spoke like you were very knowledgeable. You were very confident, and that came across. That's why I felt free to ask you questions.
Yeah.
That I know that you know that I originally wasn't prepared to ask you, because it's like always sideboards. So we got a couple more topics on there.
Yeah.
Good job, right? Proud of you,
Appreciate
man.
that.
You don't really need no coaching, you just keep practicing your craft. Practicing the next few a couple of years, we'll say, we knew him win. We knew him win. But do your thing. Because all of our next stuff now is pre-recorded, so I'm kind of basically done. With the exception of teasing and coming up after this break, aren't you? Everything else is pre-recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, take your time, do what you need to do. We went to the restroom real quick. We got coffee and water, piece of water.
Oh yeah.
Coffee?
I'm gonna grab me some.
Yeah, that's
coffee.
what you got. But again, if you make some drink it, she's a coffee drink, help yourself.
Okay.
You want it black? Or you coffee and cream?
I need a little bit of cream.
How about some sugar too? How many spoons of sugar?
Just 1 spoon. I'm
One
trying
spoon of
to.
sugar and a little taste of cream.
Trying to cut it.
I got you. Go along.
Chief, we got like the regular cream, the regular coffee mate? Or we just have chocolate?
It's chocolate.
You got chocolate coffee mate?
Oh, that's good.
That's good?
That's good, yeah.
Two lines about it. I'm not sure what the position is today, so we can go forward, but I think we would have better information.
Attorney Cross. Yeah, that's great. And at this time, I have no objection. I know that Alicia's here just in case it went because she was in the first report, but I think based on the circumstances of the case, we better find out what's going on first. Are we expecting Mom? Mom is usually here. Are we expecting Mom?
We're not going to get in contact with her. We're trying to contact her.
All right. And she was present at the last hearing for which this matter was set. Let's go ahead. I think I was not aware that Lanisha had been on one, and because the last time I saw her.
Where we at, Chief?
We're in a song.
Huh?
In a song.
Okay. Just after that, go to your break and I'll need to come back and just go to the next interview. Okay, thanks for downloading. I appreciate it.
The bar sent me some, they're doing something else. The bar sent me some of it. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
They sent you some stuff?
Yeah, they sent me some feedback.
Okay. An email?
Yeah, in the email. They said
They want you to change something?
I haven't been able to look at it.
I didn't see that wrong with it.
From the cover of the email they sent, it looked like, so they mailed something to me, got returned as undeliverable or whatever.
Okay.
So they emailed it last Friday. They emailed it to me earlier this week. I'm mixed up.
You in town this weekend?
I don't know.
You in town tonight?
We gotta get back. I might be in town. We should be in town through Monday to Tuesday.
So you gotta get back where?
We have to be back in Atlanta for the 17th. My wife's got an appointment.
Okay. So y'all wanna ride back?
So the plan is we're driving back either Monday or Tuesday.
So y'all coming back?
Oh, we're eventually coming back. You know, we'll probably be back in July.
Well, you're not, once you got the spots, what I'm saying is, if they make any adjustments to it, the wife has a copy, we'll put them into the court like we did, we'll reproduce them. We'll get them up and running on Monday. Preferably. If you get a chance to look at the email. Or they gonna require you just to make the changes, you make those changes, you're good.
I don't think I need to run the changes back.
Or just send it to them as a courtesy, with the changes, but if they make the adjustments, you start running.
Yeah, I think
I'm surprised they got back that quick. And that's what almost a month.
I too, and they tried to mail. I saw the return thing.
Oh, did it?
It failed. Yeah.
Okay, that's good news. We need to start running your spot.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about next time?
Hey, you think it was a pop? When you pulled over by police, the black talk. It had a black talk, like we talked about our son or our dog.
Yeah.
When they pulled over by police, this shit was done.
I think that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have some spin-offs.
Then I'm gonna talk to Jimmy to talk about insurance. Do I have enough coverage? Do I have enough coverage?
That's
talk about that. That's a good one because a lot of people get caught up.
In Louisiana, there's no pay, no place there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I had that happen here.
Louisiana is not paying no place there. So, we don't have
I'll tell you what happened. I was coming off of Lee Street and it was raining. And I'm looking, and a lady just went from one lane to another, and I'm very uncomfortable. She pulled up, I pulled up, Wayne got her information, got my information. I said, look, there's a pink body shop right up the street. I'm looking at the damage. He said, man, I know I got probably $200-300, I'll pay you cash. Here's my card. I think I'm like, next thing you know, I get an attorney I get a letter from an attorney. She's already contacted my insurance company. Who then, after the insurance company contacts me, they do the investigation, and they found out, Mr. Brown, you okay, you're 100% okay. She doesn't have any insurance. So she jumped the gun when she could have gotten her car fixed, got a little cash in her pocket, but we jumped the gun, had a brand new car, she said, I just got this car, and didn't have any insurance. Yeah, I felt bad for her for a minute until Q, the bitch, filed a lawsuit on me, and then she didn't have any claim because she didn't have any insurance. Because they know, they'll just put the VIN number on the car, and they will actually know whether that person is covered, and she wasn't. That's happened twice. One time I'm on Jackson Street and I pulled out in between cars, and this guy and this girl was in a car that came and they T-boned, and I came into their lane. So really, I was at fault, because I came into the lane. Yes, somebody said, you can go and pull down. And then they pulled over. Police came out. They lied and said they had a baby in the backseat. Oh, they lied, man. They lied. They, the car was still being financed, and it turned out they didn't have no insurance. So my insurance company fixed my car, no problem. So twice that law has saved me.
Yeah, when I started taking a couple of cases out, I was like, the client, well, I don't have insurance. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay?
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
And I'm like, she keeps asking me this. Let me see what's going on.
Don't have no insurance.
so many people that are uninsured. And it's
Oh,
like,
Because the insurance so damn high. You know, that's why they're uninsured. It's high as hell. Coverage up.